Hello, everyone. I'm Don Reporté, and this is news for Saturday, September 20th, 2025. We're back with some exciting but not surprising updates on Generally Specific, known to some as Todd. As of last weekend, Todd has officially been served an emergency protective order. The filings name both Chris Ryder and Tiffany Napier, citing stalking, harassment, and sexual harassment, with the box for dangerous threats involving weapons checked. Additional orders cover allegations of stalking and harassment directed toward a child, specifically her daughter, and again for her son. As part of the order, Todd has been instructed to surrender all firearms within 24 hours. And finally, a summons has been issued, requiring his appearance in court on September 22nd, 2025. Now let's turn to some of the clips from this past week as Todd was served and begins to realize the severity of what is upon him. In these first clips, you'll hear from people familiar with the emergency protective order, our producer Spider Dog, among them, asking Todd directly about surrendering his firearms. At this point, Todd has yet to inform his own viewers about the order placed against him. So as you watch, pay close attention to his reactions. They tell the story he's not saying out loud.
What happens if you get caught in possession of a firearm, GS? Wait, what? Oh, Spider Dog, imagine being told you have to surrender your pew-pews. Yikes. Whoa, does that happen to Ryder? Huh. Did that happen to Ryder? I hope not. Well, it's a good thing I don't own any pew-pews, so there's nothing for me to surrender.
Now, we know this isn't the whole truth. Todd has spoken openly in the past about firearms he owns, his wife's personal firearm, and even showcased a rifle he was gifted, one he said he hoped to mount on the wall behind him. But as the night wore on and into the weekend, his tune began to change. We'll be showing you evidence of that shortly. At the time of this next clip, the channel Hill Pirate Studios was already displaying a partial copy of the protection order on their stream. Our producer took it upon himself to prompt one of Todd's panelists, Killa Milla, to bring it up, suggesting Todd go see for himself what was being shown. Let's take a look at that moment and Todd's response.
So in the chat, Spider Dog said, tell GS to show the docs that Hill Pirate Studios are showing.
Show the what?
Documents.
What documents?
I don't know.
Oh, they're showing documents. We're actually moving on to something else at the moment. I mean, Hill Pirate Studios Power Bottom Butt Pirates. They have their own documents, but oh, that's right. I do have to. Oh, that's right. I got to show this, don't I?
It appears Todd wasn't expecting that turn, and the discomfort showed. He quickly tried to pivot the conversation away from what he suspected was being shown over on the HPS channel. In the awkwardness of the moment, Todd suddenly decided it was time to bring out some documents of his own. What he produced were responses to a series of open records requests he'd filed, material he claimed he had planned to discuss. But the timing made it clear this was a diversion. Over the next several minutes, Todd stumbled through those papers, struggling to focus, his mind clearly occupied elsewhere.
You know what? Actually, this would probably be a good time. All right, so this is from Jennifer B. Oldman, Hardin County Attorney. It's to Todd Bryant. My address is pretty much out there. You know, people that like to put sausage-shaped things in their mouths and suck on them, they like to do things. It says, regarding open records request received September 3rd, 2025. Oh, you mean the records request that I asked for? We are not in possession of any records responsive to your request. So what we have here is, I got 5 pieces of paper for 5 different Freedom of Information acts that I put in, right? Hardin County E, Emergency 911. All phone calls regarding CAD reports, the dispatch logs related to or involving. Oh, Mister, he don't know how to do anything. He doesn't know how to do records request. And listen, it's marked not for commercial, right? Not for commercial. And then we got so then I did the same thing. All right. So we've done the sheriff's office, we've done the police department, we've done the Kentucky State Police Post 4. And guess what else we did? We did the DA. Well, that's the letter from the DA.
Curiously, right in the middle of fumbling through those records request papers, something else unfolded. Out of the blue, and completely unrelated to what he was showing his audience, this happened.
So I gotta start a go fuck me, because I'm really fucked, guys. I gotta start a go fuck me because I am properly fucked, guys. So mods, pay attention, because I will give you the details at some point in time. Actually, if you guys want to start a go fuck me in honor of me to help me out with my lawfare, I would much appreciate it.
Then out of nowhere, Todd announces that he needs what he calls a go fuck me, his colorful twist on GoFundMe. This was his way of deflecting from the reality that he was floating the idea of asking for financial help with legal troubles of his own making. It's the very kind of thing he's been quick to chastise others for, at least when it wasn't someone he cared about. But when the going gets legal, even the loudest critics seem to find a change of heart. And yet, the very next day, he said this.
My attorney that I don't have, actually, which is me, I'm pro se. I'm going to go up against the other 3 a.m. What is it? Paralegal in training.
Yeah.
I don't know who's representing the other party, the complainant party, but I'll be representing myself, and we'll see. We'll see if I make a sowsier of it.
Todd announces he'll be representing himself and claims he doesn't know who's representing the other party. Now, going pro se may sound bold, but more often than not, it's just a shortcut to saying, I'm about to lose, but I'll do it my way. As the night wore on and into his stream the following day, his loyal followers chimed in, armed with nothing more than Google searches and the kind of armchair legal takes you'd expect from a late-night gas station debate club. Much of it centered on the order requiring him to surrender his weapons. In this next clip, Todd is still pretending he doesn't know what's happening. And in the clip that follows, the very next day, he turns around and corrects one of his own viewers for not knowing what they're talking about.
Just so you know, I just asked an attorney who practices in Kentucky and Indiana. He said a judge cannot issue an EPO or surrender of firearms order without a full hearing in court. He also said that forging this document is extremely stupid and could land someone in jail on felony charges. Whoopsie. I don't really know what this person is talking about, but apparently maybe it has something to do with the documents that are being showing over on the Power Bottom Butt Pirate show. You got to get some butt cream, boys. You got to get some butt creams. You got this one from James Stern?
Yeah, just for the record, for all the cheese dicks commenting, an IPO, interpersonal protection order, does not require the surrendering of one's firearms nor buying a new one. Stop listening to Rytard.
Well, James, I got to correct you again. I will just say in this scenario, yes, I was told, I was given an order by the judge based on the extreme verbiage that my accuser put on a sheet of paper.
Todd's first instinct was to wave the whole thing off, saying, quote, the extreme verbiage my accuser put on a piece of paper, as if a judge just rubber-stamped an order because the adjectives were too spicy. But after a night's sleep and hours of pacing it out in his head, his tune softened. By the next day, Todd was suddenly a little more measured, almost admitting there might be a reason the order was issued, even if he couldn't quite bring himself to say it out loud.
He must have had the proof. He must have shown something to the peace officer or the LEO or the sheriff or whatever when he was something substantiating, right? Because there's no way that I would lose my Second Amendment. Not only myself, but my wife also loses her Second Amendment on just somebody saying so.
But Todd doesn't stop there. No, he takes it a step further, explaining in great detail how the process is completely legitimate and that he understands why it happened. A remarkable transformation, really, from this is all made up on paper to suddenly becoming a part-time legal scholar nodding along with the system. It's almost touching, watching a man discover due process only after it's knocking on his own front door. Word of warning, if you ever plan to knock on Todd's front door, make sure not to display any dominant hips as you approach.
But I do want to say this, guys. I understand. I understand that imagine if any one of you or your daughter or your mother or your aunt or your niece, right? We'll just put a female in the mix. But if a female goes and is begging for relief, or that there's danger, that this person's put in danger, and they make an assertion that a gun was involved. I'm sorry, a pew pew was involved. And also they're saying alcohol abuse was involved, which is kind of funny. How would a judge not grant that? Because imagine if they didn't believe the person making the claim. Just imagine. God forbid, the next morning they found out that that person became a victim at the hands of the person that they were claiming was a threat. I get it. I do understand it. I hold no negative opinion. I believe that a lot of these officials' hands are tied, to include the people that have to come to your door and serve you with this paperwork. A lot of times they are just the messenger. It is a process. And like a lot of auditors like to say, the process is the punishment.
And so here we are. The consequences of one's words and actions eventually catch up, and Todd is now facing that reality. For those who followed him over time, none of this behavior comes as a surprise. The bluster, the pivots, the contradictions, it's a familiar pattern, only now the stakes are higher than they ever have been before. The question is, has Todd actually learned anything from this, or is it simply going to be more of the same? After I sign off, we'll leave you with a few clips, and you can decide for yourself whether Todd has learned a single thing. And don't worry, after Todd has his court appearance on Monday, we'll be back to update you on what happens next. For Saturday, September 20th, 2025, I'm Don Reporté. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
And see, I'm not even sure what the rules are, guys. I'm not even sure what the rules are. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to play like a canned video with this guy. Or is that can't be considered trying to contact them, right? But I did take them out of my app mention because I am cross my T's and dot my I's, law and order all the way, baby. Not giving this guy not even one iota of an excuse for anything. But TikTok. But at the end of the day, who's responsible for their own words? Me. Who's responsible for their own words? You, right? We're all responsible for our own words. If you don't mean it, don't say it. But when I'm on Finkel's channel and I say unequivocally that I mean you no harm, I wish to break no laws, and I will conduct myself within the letter of the law and I will not do anything that's not exactly permissible by law. I think that's pretty clear that, I'm no threat to you. But, TikTok. But apparently, according to some people, I'm not allowed to freely travel places because that would be considered a threat. It's a threat. Why are you threatening me? I'm not threatening anybody. I made it very clear on Finkel's channel that I have no intention to harm you. But you spurred out right past that declaration and continue to insist and spin a narrative, buddy, didn't you? You did that for the cameras and for the clips. All right, let's see. Thanks. You know who you are, buddy. You know who you are. But TikTok. I'm going to probably have you read a lot of this because I don't even know what the rules are. I might not be able to say these things. Well, I think a lot of people say free speech isn't free. There's a cost everywhere that comes out of your mouth. I've said that as well, meaning, but TikTok. What are your thoughts on that? Any thoughts on that?